to Brooke Henderson, looking at birdie in front of Kay Cockrell. Hi there, Kay.
Hey, Cara. Beautiful afternoon to be out here walking around this gorgeous golf course. Brooke hit a 9-iron in, and these greens are firming up quite a bit from the morning to the afternoon, and her ball released a good 35 feet beyond the hole. So now a putt kind of back downhill with some left to right movement.
Yeah, there's quite a difference between how the course plays in the morning and the afternoon, Kay.
Yes, and I was talking to Sarah Schmelzel, for example, and she said it was cool, but the greens were very receptive. So prime and no wind, prime scoring.
On the LPGA Tour. Back to 10, and here's Brooke to tidy up her par with the flagstick still in.
Yep, she likes to put the flagstick in for all her putts, even these short inside 3-footers, which I don't quite understand when the wind starts blowing and that stick starts moving around a bit.
I mean, it looks funky from the short distance for sure.
And we've seen so many players now that have done that, hit the flag and it ricocheted out. You'd have thought that at some...
She'll just have a tap in for her par as we go up to 11. Brooke Henderson next to play.
It's going to be really interesting to see the variety of clubs that players play off of these tees. Speaking to players that played earlier today, usually the maximum drivers they were hitting all day were 4 or 5 drivers. So you're going to see a lot of fairway woods, hybrids, maybe even some long irons off some of these tees.
And when you're doing back, when you're clubbing back,
And has split the fairway in 2 with the drive, Kay. Let's see what she can do with her second.
She did, and she got it down there far enough where she got a relatively level lie, which should help her stay balanced through this shot. Just a little gap wedge.
Calling for it to go. She'll have a look though. 2 over on her day so far. 3 bogeys came at the first, third, and the 9th. She did get a birdie at the 8th.
really know why that happens to players, but they just kind of lose their edge and then they struggle with confidence to get it back.
Speaking of which, Brooke Henderson hasn't been in the winner's circle for a good couple of years, Kay.
No, that's unusual because she's had a penchant for winning. This is her 11th year on tour. And she doesn't have too many droughts in her career.
11th. Speaking of downhill, let's go to Brooke Henderson at the 12th.
Some 40 yards ahead from where Mao hit. Mao hit fairway wood off the tee. Brooke used driver. And just a gap wedge left. Trying to take advantage of that short club in her hands. It just misses the side of the ridge that she needed to hit.
This would cause her some good interest out there.
Let's go to 12 and Brooke Henderson for birdie.
Yeah, this putt just inside 30 feet. At one time, it was only about 10 feet away from the hole.
Cara, you said this was her 11th year on tour.
Brooke Henderson at 13.
She's staying in aggressive mode, going with driver. An aggressive line is our TV tower in the distance. A little more conservative is to the right of that.
Oh, she pounded that one.
Tricky. Let's go back to the 13th now, and Brooke playing from the right-hand side.
After annihilating that drive, 305 yards, just a 5-iron left, but an awkward angle. Trying to hoist that up as high as she can. This green is a bit elevated.
Ooh, that took a wicked bounce.
Well, this is on a helter-skelter, this golf ball.
And this gives you an idea of what you've been talking about, Cara, with these greens, about how undulating they are. I mean, that really puts it into perspective what the play.
Think of Brooke Henderson and the way she plays. It's aggressive. She gets into a flow and she can reel off a lot of birdies. Hasn't quite hit that flow yet today, but maybe here she can get something going. It's a difficult one to read. It almost looks like it goes uphill slightly to start and then downhill with left to right break, quite a bit of it.
Hasn't quite hit her flow this year. Just one top 10, and that came in the match play.
I think with a player like Brooke, you just need something good to happen, and it kind of steamrolls from there, and confidence happens, and next thing you know, you're winning. But it always seems to revolve around this club with Brooke and whether she can make some putts.
That looked like a pretty good effort right there.
That's not bad at all, Kay.
Yeah, just 27 years old, been on the LPGA Tour 11 years already. 13 wins, 2 majors, but nothing since 2023.
And remember, Karen, when she first turned pro, she was having to try to Monday qualify to get into tournaments. And she was so determined. And look at her career now.
Oh, most winningest. You know, turning it around so quickly, Kay, as well.
Yeah, you kind of want to bask in that glory forever, but you're on to the next tournament. Brooke Henderson coming off of a birdie at the last hole. In fact, all 3 of these players took advantage of the par 5, so trying to build a little momentum. One step ahead of where Mao hit from. This also a little lob wedge.
That didn't get any roll back. Checked it up just past the pin. 3 pretty good looks at birdie coming up for this group.
I think that was just a little bit of a true, Kay, and I think the wind direction has changed slightly on these players as well, and tee movements, holes playing shorter, so you can formulate a game plan, but it doesn't always play out that way, and you've got to be adaptable too, don't you? Where you have to be able to change that plan at a moment's notice.
It is a very strategic golf course, but I'll tell you one thing, these greens are pure. They're bent grass greens, and they are lovely. Brooke grew up in Canada on bent grass greens, so she should feel very comfortable.
I took her time reading this one with her sister Brittany. Goes running by.
Just a little recoil. You know, she hits it and then she recoils with the putter. I always think players that are putting it.
Back to Brooke.
Keeping the big stick in the bag. This is not a hole where you want to mess with driver. There's just too much trouble. And this fairway tilts a number of ways. I can see why it's playing.
Doubt and belief for choices. And at some point she stopped fearing the struggle. It was pretty impressive stuff.
Not struggling right now as we go up to 16 and find Brooke Henderson trying to climb that birdie attempt up the hill at the par 4. You can see she's just the wrong side of par right now. Staying hot from last week. Back to 17 and Brooke Henderson.
Going with the same club that Mao just hit, 9-iron. Plays about 5 yards downhill.
Another beauty, Kay. Taking advantage of this. Up to 17. And Brooke for birdie. Looking over this once again with Brittany, which is typical for this duo, is it not, Kay?
Sorry, Cara, come again?
It's typical for Brooke and Brittany to work together, it appears, on the greens.
Well, Brooke has said numerous times she's so fortunate to have her best friend and her sister out here. I mean, they go to dinner together, they travel together, and they rely on each other. It's a great partnership.
And one that paid off there. Nice birdie to get back to even par. Just 1 hole to play.
It'll be interesting to see how deep and with what trajectory Brooke decides to hit this.
Oh we just saw, no surprise. She asked Lilia Vu to mark her ball, just to the right-hand side there.
I think, Kay, that's the biggest part of this shot is the trajectory, making sure you get that right, so you know how much it's going to bounce.
When you're young and confident, you go high. When you're older and less confident, you go low.
So Brooke's young and confident.
Beautiful. Yep.
Listen.
Does she have one last birdie in her? Couldn't be putting it from a much better spot. I think after this putt falls, she's going to be getting to the TV. There you go, to see how her Ottawa Senators are faring against the Maple Leafs. Big hockey fan.
Sounds like you are too, Kay.
Not as big as her.
Major champion, Kay, how would you grade it?
I'd grade it A-.
Pretty good, as she gets used